It was early summer when a man named Greg decided to go fishing at a small, remote lake that few people knew about. He had been coming to this lake for years, but this time, something felt different. The air was too still, and the usual birdsong was completely absent. He set up his rod on the wooden dock, feeling that familiar thrill as the sun started to rise. He cast his line, waited, and after a few minutes, felt a sharp tug. Excited, he reeled it in, but when he looked, the water was completely still. No fish, no movement, just the calm, black surface of the lake. Shrugging it off, he cast again. The tug came again. This time, he pulled harder, thinking it was a big catch. But when he lifted it, nothing was there. The line was empty. Greg frowned. "Must be weeds," he muttered. The day went on like this. Every tug, every pull, but no fish. And then he noticed something strange. A shadow beneath the dock. It didn't move like a fish. It moved deliberately. He leaned over to see better, and his stomach dropped. A pale, human-like figure was just standing under the water, staring up at him. Not swimming, not struggling, just standing. Greg froze. The figure had no expression, no features, just smooth, pale skin that seemed to absorb the sunlight. He tried to back away slowly, but the figure rose, moving toward the edge of the dock. Water splashed as it climbed up, but it didn't swim like a person. It moved like something unnatural, gliding in a way that made the air feel heavier. Terrified, Greg yanked his gear and ran. He didn't stop until he reached his car. But when he glanced back toward the lake, the dock looked normal again. No shadow, no figure, nothing. That night, he couldn't sleep, and at 3 a.m., his phone rang. No number, no voice, just the sound of water and someone breathing Daptio this day. Greg refuses to go fishing alone, and he avoids that lake entirely, because some nights, he swears he can hear the soft slap of water against the dock, like someone, or something, is still standing there, waiting. It was late August when a guy named Marcus decided to go night fishing. He wasn't the type to fish alone, but all his friends had bailed. So he packed his gear and drove to a small, abandoned river that ran through the woods. He'd fished there before, but only during the day. Night fishing, though, that was different. Marcus arrived around 11 p.m., the moon just barely lighting the narrow river path. He set up his small lantern on the bank and cast his line. The sound of the river was soothing at first, just the gentle flow of water and the occasional croak of a frog. About an hour in, Marcus felt a strong pull on his line. Excited, he jerked it back, but whatever was on the other end was heavy, too heavy for a normal fish. He tugged again, struggling, and finally, with a loud splash, something broke the surface. He froze. What he saw was a man, a pale, soaked man, tangled in the line, gasping for air. But there was something horribly wrong. His eyes were black, completely black, with no whites at all. And when he opened his mouth to speak, it didn't make a sound. Marcus stumbled back, heart racing. The figure tried to reach for him, and that's when he realized it wasn't floating naturally. Its movements were jerky, unnatural, like a puppet being pulled by invisible strings. He dropped his rod and ran into the woods, but the sound of wet footsteps followed him. Not behind him, beside him. Every step he took, the sound matched him, keeping pace. His mind screamed at him to run faster, but the forest was thick, the shadows deep, and the sound of breathing, slow, wet, unnatural, never left him. Finally, Marcus broke through to the road and flagged down a car. He didn't look back, not even once. But later, when he told the story to friends, he realized something terrifying. All the photos he took on his phone from that night had one thing in common. In the corner of every single picture, there was a pair of black eyes staring directly at the camera, even when no one was there. Some nights, Marcus swears he can still hear the soft slap of water against the riverbank and the sound of someone breathing in the darkness, waiting for the next person to cast a line. It was early fall when a man named Daniel decided to go fishing alone at a river deep in the countryside. He had heard stories about this river. Locals said it was haunted, but Daniel didn't believe in that stuff. He just liked the quiet and the chance to catch something big. The first few hours were uneventful. The river was calm, the water reflecting the orange and red leaves falling from the trees. Daniel sat on the bank, casting his line and enjoying the silence. But as night fell, he noticed something odd. Every time he looked up from the water, he could swear that the river wasn't completely still. The reflection of the trees looked slightly off. The shapes of the branches seemed to shift, like they were moving independently of the wind. He shook his head, thinking it was his imagination. But then he heard it. Faint whispers, almost like voices carried on the water. He froze. "Hello?" he called out, but no answer came, just the whispers getting slightly louder. Daniel decided to pack up and leave. As he stood, he noticed movement in the water. Not a fish, not a ripple, something large, lurking just beneath the surface. It didn't swim like an animal. It glided, keeping pace with him as he moved along the bank. Panicked, Daniel ran to his car, but when he reached it, he saw something impossible. Reflected in the headlights, the river's surface rippled, and dozens of pale, human-like faces stared back at him, their eyes black, their mouths open in silent screams. Daniel sped away and never returned to that river. But that night, when he tried to sleep, he couldn't. And sometimes, when it rained, he swears he can hear whispers coming from the drains outside his house, soft, watery voices, reminding him that the river never forgets. Because the river watches, and it waits,